WHOW.com. We're not available everywhere. Terms and conditions apply.
Allergy season is here, and our Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine is here to help. No appointment, no problem. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Ramie Miller from Run Deep Coaching. Take your power back. I do holistic personal and business coaching. My service is virtual, so we can visit no matter where you are. Find out more by clicking my icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on Fighting Inflation 2024.
We are very strategic about our pricing. The other thing is you almost never have to wait to get checked out. On top of that, we don't make you be the cashier either. We try to make sure in order to grow, you have to have labor. So we make sure we have enough people to do the job, and in order to absorb the growth that we've experienced for 24 years straight.
Dave and his staff help you save up to 40% on your food bill every day at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
Hope to see you soon.
News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. We stream to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Tower crews finished maintenance work on the tower, which has WHOW's 106.5 FM Bloomington normal signal late Wednesday afternoon, and turned the station back on the air. The 106.5 signal was off the air most of the day Wednesday due to the scheduled tower work. None of the other WHOW AM, FM, or streaming signals were affected. Some much-needed and significant rain fell in central Illinois over the last week. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio 3 inches was the norm for most of central Illinois, with higher amounts of 4 and 5 inches in some places.
A lot of the areas over 3 inches, especially a lot of DeWitt counties, 3.5 to 4 inches. This month, and that's a lot. I mean, that's more than your monthly total. So you're already in that window of less than a week, literally getting a month's worth of rain for even the summertime. Summertime, averages 3.8 to 4 inches of rain for an entire summer month. So, we definitely soaked the ground. It came at a slow pace too. It wasn't like 4 inches of rain in 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that, where you're going to get more runoff. This actually, I think, was pretty beneficial. We're going to start to see this, seep into the ground and start replenishing some of those drought conditions that are at the 8-inch and maybe even down to the 20-inch level. Mm-hmm. We'll have to see, as some of those sensors start picking this up. Just across into Logan County, there was 5.5 inches of rain just northeast of Mount Pulaski. So, that was the high point in this local area, and then Champaign area had a lot of areas with 5 inches of reports around the city, Urbana. This was pretty. It could have been a lot more impactful had we had like a lot of rain preceding this, but since we were so dry, a lot of this soaked in. We didn't have a lot of roadways, or even the ditches. I don't think had many full ditches at all. Maybe some puddles, in the ditches, but certainly nothing as impactful as it could have been had we had this rainfall in a shorter period of time. Yeah, there was more persistent rains in that area that were a little bit heavier, a little bit more thunderstorm activity down there, and they crept up towards 6 inches. 5.5 to 6 is kind of the common theme, Christian, Sangamon, and then heading down towards St. Louis. And actually, Edwardsville has upwards of 9 inches. So the St. Louis Metro, East St. Louis, 9 to 10 inches of rain actually fell during that, 5 to 6 day period down there. So, and actually most of that was over the weekend, and they had some flooding and flash flooding as well. So they had, much more impact road-wise down, that area of the state. And when you get up to 10 inches, it's going to cause a problem, even if that's over a couple of days, because at that point, you're probably saturating the surface layer enough to run off a lot of that into your poor drainage areas, especially, are going to see some ponding and flooding. We're down generally around the 2.5 to 3 inch average there. And then the further west you got towards Galesburg, down to 2 mainly. There was just a little less of a kind of where the front was moving in and where the bands of rain just kind of kept streaming in along I-55 and just to the east. That was the persistent pattern for that particular couple of days, this weekend into early this week. Just because of that one orientation, we really just missed out of it just west of I-55 in terms of the higher 5-inch totals. That just kind of was confined just along and east of I-55.
Slow and steady rain was just what Central Illinois needed. Shimon indicates a low-pressure system stalled out over the plains, creating consistent rain for 3 or 4 days.
Right, yeah. We kind of had a stagnation of where the frontal boundary was. There was low pressure approaching from the plains, and then it just stalled out. It literally there's a subtropical high near Bermuda, and it's called the Bermuda High. And in this particular case, we had it just create a blocking pattern for 3-4 days almost, and that situation allowed low pressure systems to just kind of ride up and along this stalled boundary, which just happened to be pretty much splitting Illinois in half almost, and gave us our persistent flow. So that blocking high over the Bermuda area really just created a roadblock, so to speak, of the weather patterns, and we just had everything driving right up through our area.
Conditions were arid across the area for most of October. Shimon indicates while it was an ideal weather month for the harvest, the rain of the last week is going to ease drought conditions.
Yeah, I'm before this rain moved in, we were basically D1, D2, moderate drought across the majority of the northern 2/3 of Illinois. I mean, we were really dry through a deep layer all the way down to 20 inches. We were reaching some near record levels of dryness in the deep layers. Now we've got a really good replenishment. It was at a slower pace. I'm seeing some response. The Springfield rain, the soil moisture has actually crept up almost in the normal range. We're right in the normal plot where before we were at the minus 80th percentile of dryness. So we're right in the middle now, which is great in the Springfield area. If you creep over to Champaign, it hasn't responded on the sensors yet. They're still down in the 50th to 80th, below normal moisture content in the 4-inch, 8-inch, and 20-inch levels. But I think hopefully we'll see those creep up as it starts to seep in here. But I think we're gonna really put a dent in the drought conditions, at least drop them down at least to maybe D0, D1 in a lot of the area. That was really beneficial rain. I believe that anyway. Dr. Trent Ford is working on an update, and we only include information on the precip up until about 8 a.m. on Tuesday in the Thursday update of the drought outlook. So we're missing out on a chunk of the Tuesday rains in how we're responding with the next drought outlook. But we did get sizable amounts of moisture prior to the cutoff for our next drought update. So we're going to see some improvement.
More rain is expected this weekend, and in fact, November's outlook is showing above average rainfall. We'll have more on that in the days ahead on regional radio. Still to come this morning in sports, Clinton High School boys cross country team is headed to Detweiler Park to compete in the state cross country meet this weekend, and freshman Aubrey Peterson advanced to state on the girls' side. That story comes up in sports. Many school districts around central Illinois struggle to find substitute teachers. Adam Ibbotson, superintendent of Maroa-Forsyth Schools, explains they're no different. He says while they have a good pool of subs, there's always the need for more.
We're fortunate to have a pretty good pool of substitutes already, and we've had a majority of our positions get filled, but it's one of those things as the school year starts to evolve, as we have teachers that are out for various reasons, teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, there's just a need to fill those. So we're always looking to recruit other subs, whether it be for a classroom teacher spot or a paraprofessional or aide spot as well, just to help out with school. We can't run the schools without them. Life happens. People have to be gone for various reasons, and we need to fill those. And we're always looking for qualified people who want to be in the district, whether you're a retired teacher and you want to come in and sub, or you're someone who's looking and you've got the qualifications to do it. We're looking for people to fill those roles. And I think for us, as the year progresses on, typically the needs become more as we move into the winter time and we move into the school year. We're always looking for qualified subs to come in and help us out and run the buildings K through 12, really.
According to Ibbotson, potential subs need to reach out to the Regional Office of Education. They will help with the process of becoming licensed to be a substitute teacher or paraprofessional. The question many subs have is, what is the pay? Ibbotson notes base pay is $115 per day in Maroa-Forsyth, and and you get to choose which grades you are comfortable teaching. The need for subs does not also just revolve around teachers being sick. He notes there are times that teachers may be out for even scheduled events.
Sometimes there's meetings that they go to. Sometimes there's professional development. Sometimes it's their kids. Sometimes it's a meeting they need to go to. Sometimes there's release time that they need for paperwork along the way. There's any number of things that happen to where we need to get people covered. So having a big sub pool of people who want to do that just helps our schools run safely and efficiently.
If you're interested in becoming a substitute teacher, get more information at mfschools.net or contact your regional office of education. 17 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday, we stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10, all brought to you by the Clinton Sports Boosters, Liberty Village, and the Clinton Community YMCA. ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in fire, water, and mold restoration, is once again the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game. Their play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon postgame broadcast, and that player receives a certificate from WHOW and ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties. Find out the many services ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties offers by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
300 gold.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jeremy House. In the NBA, the shorthanded Denver Nuggets dropped the Oklahoma City Thunder from the ranks of the unbeaten.
The Nuggets wiped out a 16-point deficit to down the Thunder 124-122. Denver did the deed without injured starters Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. OKC is no longer perfect, falling to 7-1. The Thunder was in front 81-65 in the third quarter before the Nuggets went to work against the league's top defense.
Correspondent Bruce Morton reporting. Other winners included Charlotte, Indiana, Atlanta, Golden State, Houston, Cleveland, Memphis, Dallas, Phoenix, Sacramento, and the LA Clippers. In Major League Baseball, agent Scott Boras indicated Juan Soto may be seeking to top Shohei Ohtani's record $700 million contract because he's 3 years younger than the Japanese two-way star when he reached his deal with the LA Dodgers. This is SRN Sports. In the NHL, Alex Ovechkin provides a tie-breaking goal with just over 9.5 minutes remaining as the Washington Capitals earn their seventh straight home win, 3-2 over the Nashville Predators.
Ovechkin is now 34 goals from becoming the NHL's all-time leader, passing Wayne Gretzky. Dylan Strome had 2 assists, giving him 15 already this season and 200 for his career. Strome has set up goals in 5 straight games. Connor McMichael and Alexi Protas also scored for the Capitals. Juuso Parssinen and Steven Stamkos furnished the Predators' goals.
That's correspondent Dave Ferry reporting. Elsewhere, Vegas doubled up on Edmonton 4-2, while Detroit down Chicago 4-1. Wisconsin senior Lacey Eden scored 2 of the United States' 5 first-period goals, and the Americans routed Canada 7-2 last night in the opener of the rivalry series. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. The Clinton High School boys cross-country team and freshman Aubrey Peterson from the girls team will compete at the IHSA Finals this weekend in Peoria. Co-head coach Rachel Anderson-Lyons notes her boys team won the school's first regional in 25 years and is a return appearance to state for the boys team.
Yeah, we are super excited about our team, the boys team advancing to state, and freshman Aubrey Peterson advancing to state. We had, undoubtedly on the girls' side, the toughest sectional in the state, regardless of division or gender. And so the girls' team, they just ran out of their minds. So we can't control which sectional the IHSA puts us in. And so after the sectional meet, advanced just Aubrey on the girls' side, but on the boys' side, the team is headed back to state. So these are back-to-back appearances for the boys' team, and it's actually only the fourth in Clinton's history for the boys' team. So we are in the 1A division, and historically, the last several years, the IHSA has been sending us to a southern division, which is still tough. Central Illinois cross country is pretty deep, but this year the IHSA sent us up north. So our regional was at Olympia, and then our sectional fed into the Elmwood sectional. The regionals was amazing. The boys won a regional cross-country championship, so that was very exciting. So yes, that the boys were regional champions. It's actually been 25 years since boys cross-country has won a regional, so since 1999. And it's actually the first regional championship for any sport in the school under athletic director Matt Keppel. So he was pretty proud of the boys. And they took the win, scoring only 44 points. So cross-country is a lot like golf. You want the low score to advance, or to have the to win, and they only scored 44 points. And another thing about cross country that you're shooting for is having your runners be as close as possible, so like a pack running, or just having the spread, they call it, like the time between your first runner finishing and your last runner finishing. And we were at 42 seconds for our 1 through 5 runners, so it's pretty exceptional meet. And we did have an all regional athlete in Caden Bostic. He was 5th at that meet as well.
Coach Anderson Lyon says her boys team is very young, but credits her seniors for their leadership. She says it's been great to watch those seniors lead a very talented young freshman class.
Yeah, for sure. We have a great dynamic on the boys' side. So while we have a small senior class in just Talon Thrasher and Colin Jamison, they are exceptional leaders. So while it's just the two of them, they have really taken all the underclassmen under their wings and really led dedication to running all summer long. So they recruited a lot of these freshman boys to be running with them on days that we weren't having official practices. And I think that is why you're seeing the results that we're seeing right now. So this freshman class is absolutely insane. They are totally stacked as far as depth and talent and dedication. Obviously led by freshman Caden Bostic. So he has been our one runner pretty much all season. He was 16th at sectionals, and he was the top freshman in the entire sectional. And I think he really has his eye on running our school record this weekend at state. The school record is 15:43 from 1991, set by Joe Alexander.
Freshman Aubrey Peterson finished second at the sectional meet in Elmwood over the weekend. Coach Anderson Lyons called her sectional run a breakout race.
Oh my goodness. Aubrey had a really breakout race at sectionals. She was actually projected to finish 12th, and she did not care about that. She stormed to the front of the race. We have, like I said earlier, a super deep sectional, really talented, really accomplished runners at the front of that race, and she was not afraid, and she put herself right in the front and ran line to line with the person who finished in first. She ended up second. Obviously, as second, she was the top freshman too. She ran a 39-second lifetime best, and it was just electric watching her run. It was so fun to cheer at her teammates and be like, Aubrey's in second, Aubrey's in second. And I think that really pushed them to run their best.
Coach Anderson Lyons believes her boys runners are gunning to not only outpace their projected finish of 14th this weekend, but they're striving to be the best team in Clinton's history. Peterson and the boys team will run from Detweiler Park in Peoria Saturday morning. Follow the Clinton Cross Country Instagram account as well as the Clinton High School Athletics Facebook account for details on their runs and progress in Peoria this weekend. Class 1A girl qualifiers on the girls' side from Decatur St. Teresa, Addison Eads, Annabelle LaFerry from Delavan, Gracie Van Hoof from Tri-Valley, and Amelia Kistner and Emma Schwarzendruber from Olympia. Class 1A qualifiers on the boys' side from Sarah Gordo B. Mint, Will Fusen, Delavan's Corey L. Green, Ryan Kuhn from DMAC, and River Derby from Monticello. Luka Doncic had 27 points and 13 assists. Kyrie Irving scored 17 points, and Daniel Gafford scored 17, playing a season-high 24 minutes as the Mavs beat the Bulls 119-99 Wednesday night in NBA action. The defending Western Conference champs scored the first 13 points of the second half and led by as many as 30, going to 2-2 on a 5-game homestand. Nikola Vucevic had 14 points and 10 rebounds while sitting out the fourth quarter to lead the Bulls, who have lost 3 straight. Rookie Matas Bazulis had 5 total points going into play and had 13 with 9 rebounds. Dallas played without starting forward P.J. Washington because of a right knee strain, and without Derek Lively II, who averages the most minutes as Gafford's backup because of a right shoulder sprain. The Bulls played their second consecutive game without leading scorer Zach LaVine, who has a right adductor strain. On a night when Dallas lacked 2 of its regular big men, the Bulls were on pace for their most 3-point shots this season at the half with 27, but shot just 18.5%. They finished 12 for 42 for 28.6%. The Bulls will complete a back-to-back at home against the Timberwolves tonight. Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat each had a goal and an assist as the Detroit Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-1 Wednesday night. Joe Velino and Andrew Kopp scored for Detroit. Cam Talbot stopped 28 shots. The Red Wings have won 2 straight after a 3-game skid. Nick Foligno scored for Chicago, which snapped a 2-game win streak. Peter Mrazek finished with 21 saves. DeBrincat beat Mrazek from the doorstep with a second and a half left in the first period, and Larkin snapped a 1-1 tie by lifting a hard wrister past him with 7:33 in the second. Velino and Kopp scored again in the third. Patrick Kane, who scored the game winner in overtime in his return to Chicago in February, was held to 2 shots on goal, but was a +2 offensively. Chicago came off of a 3-2 Western road trip, dropping its 4th straight home game. The Blackhawks have scored 8 goals and allowed 17 in those 4 games. They'll visit Dallas tonight. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.